Good morning. Day 5. It starts again. Listing challenge. 5:30 in the morning. Let's get it. Right, so we've made it to day 5 of the 30 a day listing challenge. And if you didn't know, and this is the first one you've seen, I've been doing a challenge which is like all week. I've been trying to double my business and actually go from listing 15 a day up to 30 a day. Definitely, like, I found it a challenge, like hence the title. But yeah, it's now kind of like starting to like get to the thick end of it, and the bit I'm definitely not now starting to struggle with, which is like the stock. I'm just not getting enough stock for the 30 a day. So I'm still kind of like in a good position because I've actually like managed to get a good amount in the draft bank. So we're all good. So like we're going to like complete the challenge. But the reality of finding 30 is definitely like kind of I'm finding it quite difficult. So a couple of like reasons for that, like definitely like comes into cash flow. Time wise, I'm kind of struggling a little bit on that side of it as well. But all in all, yeah, it's part of like the learning curve that I'm trying to work out is what is achievable, what's not achievable. So at the moment, like, I think the reality is that 30 a day is probably a little bit too much for me. Right, let's wake up the eBay store. Got my coffee, which is I seem to like the only way I can actually survive is actually on coffee. Right, let's have a look at the performance from yesterday. So let's see how we actually got on. So what I'm going to do is go on to performance, go to sales, click on custom, choose yesterday, which was the last day of the month. So it's now the 1st of August. This is for the last day of July. So we had 8 sales, which was pretty low yesterday. Like, if you consider like doing 30 in a day and only getting 8 sales out of that, that's definitely not ideal. But total like value was pretty good, like £290 and 14 pence. Split that into an average cost of goods of £36.27. I think the main reason for that was because like of one sale, which kind of boosted everything else up. But I still work on averages, so I still class that as like £36.27, which is really strong. If I could do like that, double that, 16 a day, I'll be in a great position. But the reality is that that's not the case. So but yeah, that's fine. We're right. So what we need to do now is actually get the listings up. So that we're going to go to the draft bank. Right. So we've got 121 in the draft bank. So we're all good. So like life is good. We're like ahead of the curve. So what I'm going to do is just like pop these all in, and then I will work out exactly like what the average selling price I've actually put them up, or average listing price. Right, so just worked it out. So we've got 30 listings up, and the value of that is £983.87. If we divide that by the 30, that gives us an average selling price of £32.79. So I think realistically for me, if what I'm aiming for is a selling price of just over £25 plus the shipping, that will then get me close to my £15 profit per item. So so reasonably pleased with that. So like, let's get rid of that. Let's submit these. So the nice thing is, because it's in a new month, I'm now like starting again with my listings. So I've got these 30 which are all free. So let's get those submitted. Processing. All done. So we're all like live. We're back up to like 91 listings. So I've took a load of pictures yesterday. Right, so now we're at a point where I need to start do some more photographs. I've done a few more bits and pieces, put in a couple of hats, etc. But now what I need to do is actually like kind of list some of the harder items to photograph. So as you can see, this is my normal setup. This is actually what I do. But what I need to now do is actually convert this area into a kind of like for longer items. That might be like trench coats, dresses, etc. But so I'll quickly show you what I do here. Right, what I'm going to do, move away my tote. This just gets wheeled out the way. And then what I do, so I need to reconfigure the lighting for it over here. So next what I'm going to do is unplug one of these lights. And what I can do is bring this one over. I do have another power socket down here, which I've kind of done intentionally. I've also got another little light, which is kind of like a one that goes upwards. And then I can set this up so we've got the mannequin here, or what I do is just use the hook, you can see. I'll show you. But I've just got a hook just up here that I can actually hang the rail onto. And the last bit, which is this one just over here, I'm going to reconfigure this so it's a little bit more straighter. Turn that over, direct it onto this area here. So this is a bit of a faff, and hence why I don't particularly like doing this. But then that gives us a reasonably good lighting. And then what I can do is, for example, this here, which is a boiler suit, we can put that just up on there. So that's all ready to go. Shouldn't have like the lights in the way, so hopefully when I take the pictures it should be look reasonably okay. Right, so I've got my camera. Now what I'm going to do is just take pictures. It is definitely more awkward, so just making sure I've got as much of that in as I possibly can. So what I have got, I completely forgot, so I've got another light. You can see just up here, I've actually got another spotlight that I actually will put onto there. So I'm going to quickly put that on as well and see what difference that makes. Not huge amounts, but it still will make a little bit of a difference. So I'll retake another picture there. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is just go in a little bit closer. Trying to make sure I don't get as many shadows. I will probably do the measurements on the flat lay steel, so that will mean that I'm going to have to take it down, but then go to the back, move out of the way. So this is a boiler suit by the brand Passenger. So Passenger are a good outdoor brand and make a lot of I think women are I think it's a unisex company, but the majority seem to sell to women. Right, so then we've got it basically back on the flat lay, and I can now do normal measurements. And then what I'm going to do as well with this, these are really difficult to measure, unfortunately. That. I've got any care labels in here, probably hidden somewhere. Oh, there it is. And then we just put a SKU number as normal, and then I bag it up as normal. Right, next thing I'm going to do, which is actually a dress. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to like use my mannequin. So what I'm going to do is bring that over like so, and then what I'm going to do is like quickly dress it. So we've got this, which is a linen dress by Oscar. I think it's Oscar, OSKA. And hopefully this should just like slip straight over. This should be like fairly straightforward. I just think like that this one should be like a reasonable amount of money. So what I'm going to do is try to make it look as best as I possibly can. Skirts, dresses, I think are always like harder to photograph. There we go. You can see that's all ready to go. So let's have a look, see what that looks like. So it looks like I've got this bit just in the corner, just in the way. So I'm going to move it over just a smidge. And then try and make it look as best as I possibly can. I haven't got kind of like this set up perfectly because it does like feel like there's a bit of shadow as well. So as I say, this is more of an afterthought. This is not my main model when it comes to like photography. And hence why I don't particularly like picking up things that don't fit my model. So to some degree, this does fit like the model because when it comes to like the postage, it's all exactly the same. It's just the photography site setup that's different. And again, what I'll do is exactly the same. I will do the measurements on the board again. Right, so that's all done. We are back to a little bit of normality again. As you can see, I've reset up like the station again. I've had a quick hoover up around here. As this was all out, I thought it'd be like a good idea just to make sure it's all like nice and tidy and clean again. So that's all done. So I've now completed my 5 days of doing my pictures. So that is, I've just done another 40. So that means that I've now completed the 200. So my challenge for the 7 days, which is doing 30 a day over 7 days. So I've now like got up to 200 and I now just need to do 10 more over the whole weekend. So personally, I think I'm in a really good position. So now all I need to do is concentrate on getting those into the draft bank, and that should then like kind of like just like kind of make life a little bit easier for the weekend. And I need to do my postage and packing as well, which I will run through what I've got. Not a huge amount, so I think as we like saw, there's only 8 like sold yesterday, so that won't take me too long whatsoever. But yeah, pleased that that's now all done. The 40 a day, like for those 5 days, has definitely been a struggle. There's no two ways about it. But the nice thing to know is that I done it. I managed to achieve like the my goal, which I set out to. I'm now really scrambling around for stock. But the issue still is that like cash flow is still very tight. So I need to be super, super careful when it comes to like what I'm buying. I need stock to buy, obviously. But I can't go and being like extravagant, unfortunately. I think what I might do is just something like in my head, which I'm like contemplating, is I am considering actually doing a car boot sale, but not buying, actually selling. And my kind of like thought process behind that is to get me some more money, as in like some like that ready cash, so I can then like go out and actually like hit the car boot sale. So what I'm thinking of, I might even consider doing one on Saturday, so like depending on the weather. But if I do that on Saturday, try and kind of sell as much as I possibly can in that day, and then that should give me like a budget to actually go out and buy a load on Sunday. So that's the thing. But what am I going to sell? Well, I think a few bits and pieces. So for one, like kind of like these bits and pieces on here, I've really realized that, so this was the wholesale bundle that I picked up. And I just like, I'm not kind of particularly in love with it. At the time, I think I kind of got a bit carried away. I thought, yeah, this is brilliant, this is brilliant. But the actual reality is that it's pretty low value stuff. It's not particularly great. The kind of styles are okay, but I just think it's going to be a bit long tail. So I may well like and say, right, okay, like get rid of the tweed jackets. And then we got some other things, which I don't think. So we've got some Land's End kind of like jackets. We've got some dresses. We've got like Marks and Spencer's pea coats. We've got a down jacket. So like there's some bits and pieces that I'm not a massive fan of like doing myself. So that might be an idea to actually offload it. But I also think it's a good idea to actually have maybe a little bit of a cull as well. So yes, I've got space, so that's not too much of an issue. But what I don't want to do is actually have stock that sits around for absolutely months and months and months and months, and like reduce and still not selling. So I think that what I'm going to do is actually like potentially like take out. So these are my oldest items at this top shelf here. These are the oldest items in my store, and we're, what number are we? 15450. So that's like basically my oldest in my store, and I think these are definitely getting up for that year mark. So I could just sit on it. I could sit on it for like another year if I wanted to, but I'm not about that. I want to be as efficient and like get them in, get them out as quickly as possible. So, and if that's not selling on this platform, then I need to do something about it. So what I think I'd like to do is actually like to basically delete these off of my store or out of eBay completely. So I might even like do, again, I'm not entirely sure exactly how many, but maybe 150, maybe 200 items potentially, and then like take those to the car boot sale and see if I can actually get some money for that. What would I expect to get for? So there's some nice bits in there, like kind of, we're not talking high end, but you're going to have some reasonable like brands in there. Levi's, kind of Gantz. There's going to be like some good stuff in there, but for whatever reason, it's just not selling on eBay at the moment. So if I could recoup like £3, £4, maybe like kind of £5 if I'm really pushing it, which I think at the car boot you're like going to struggle. But if I can recoup some of those back, if I can get a few £100 back at the car boot sale by doing an afternoon car boot, then it might be worth it. But that is still like processing in my head. It's whether I actually physically do it is another matter. But yeah, next, which I need to do is get on with the listings. I'm also going to like catch up with with Warder's Clobber. So James and Luke, they've got their podcast on. Think that's on at 8 o'clock, I believe it is, but I will double check. But I will like catch up with those guys as well, see what they've got to say. Right, we are done on the listing now, so let me like quickly show you. So in the draft bank we have 130 now, so puts us in a great position. We've just got left to do, which is launch on Saturday, launch on Sunday. So that's another 60 of those, but I've completed 200 so far, so I just need to like do another 10. I might, if I can pick up another 10 today, I might even do those today, so I've got no more listings to do for the rest of this week, and that will be a great result. So I'll be really pleased to actually do that. So it's now just gone 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm now gonna like just quickly pack up my orders, get that done, get myself like washed and dressed, have a bit of breakfast because I've not had breakfast yet, and yeah, like kind of I'm excited now. Like I can see the end in sight. Right, best get the orders packed up now. So first one, which is a Hackett jumper. This is a extra small, 100% merino wool, so it's a good quality like material, that one. And we've got £21.43 plus the shipping, listed in January of this year, so definitely like kind of time to move it on. So let's go and pick that 17387. Right, just a little small one there, but yeah, nice, really lightweight, nice summer little jumper, that one. Right, next we've got a pair of trainers, and these are a pair of Adidas Superstars, UK 8, and these were listed in May this year. We've got £22 plus the shipping. This is to Peter, so thank you, Peter, appreciate the order. £22 plus the shipping, as I say. Right, there we go, Adidas Superstars, in really nice condition actually, so like pretty minimal wear on those ones. Right, next we've got a t-shirt, and this is a I think it's limited edition, so it's Museum of Peace and Other Quiet. I'm going to start again, I'm going to try that. So Museum of Peace and Quiet, X Mr. Porter. So it's a graphic tee, so it's a white, brand new. We got £20 plus the shipping on that one, listed in June this year, and that's going to somewhere in London. All right, so that's the logo on it. Just a fairly like standard like t-shirt, but I think it's actually quite a cool brand, that one. Right, next one we've got, and this one is definitely the one that's actually pushed the average like sale price up. So this is a really good one. So this is a Barber wax jacket. So this is the motorcycle biker. I mean, it's got a hood as well, so it's like physically got a hood, and it's actually the oil skin. So this was listed in July, so like literally a couple of weeks, and we've got £99.89 plus the shipping on there. So let me go and get that one, 19887. Right, there we go. Super heavy as well, actually. So I'm hoping this will go into like one of my normal eBay bags. Looks like it. Yeah, we're in. But I will definitely like kind of put this as a heavier weight. I might even like send this through Royal Mail as well, just because it is heavier as well. But yeah, no, pleased with that sale. Right, next one we've got, which is a jumper. This is by Brandy Melville, and it is a wool. Keyword on this one, which is made in Italy. So this was listed in July, and we've got £21.77. Obviously, plus the shipping. Right, nice soft wool jumper there, all ready to go. Right, so next we've got another pair of jeans. These are a pair of Levi's Premiums, and then the 511s. They've got the big E on there, so just like, and that indicates it's the premium. Nothing particularly that special about it. I am finding the Levi's are really struggling. I don't get anywhere near as much as I used to. But £15 and 3p plus the shipping on that one. Listed in July, so it's fairly like quick seller, but I do try now to like pick up jeans, especially Levi's, to pay no more than a few pounds, £3-4. I would have said. The market has really changed on it. So sometimes you can get like close to the 20, 25, but it needs to be a bit special, and definitely like the slim fit ones, they've really like fallen out of favour. But let me go and pick that. Right, so they're the jeans, and that was what I was like mentioning about on the little tag, the big E on it. So if anything, that's probably something to look out for. Right, and the very last one is another pair of shoes. This is by the brand John Varvatos. They're a UK 9, and they're a leather. I picked these up, I think it was last Sunday. So we're talking like super quick. Got £27.50 plus the shipping on these ones, and this is going to Adrian. So again, really appreciate all the orders here, and yeah, let's go and pick that. Right, there we go. Really good quality actually. The internals all like feel like super like well made. But yeah, let's get that done. Right, thought I'd actually treat myself to lunch today because I've had no breakfast. So we've managed to fall into Toby Carvery. Let's see what we can find. Right, so this is a little bit of a treat. So Friday afternoon, I've managed to get all my work done and I can come out for a bit of lunch. So, look at the greedy guts. We have pork and beef, Yorkshire pudding, gravy, potatoes, and a cappuccino. Right, well that was a Toby Carvery. Lunch done, total price, so for the carvery and a coffee, come to £14.78. What did I think about that? I blooming loved it. Nothing special, but it absolutely hit the spot, so I'm ready to actually like crack on with the rest of the day now. Gonna go and do a bit of charity shopping, see if we can find some more bits, so let's get on with it. Right, so we're out now just doing a bit of shopping. So realistically I only want to like get 10 items. That will then like complete the challenge, sourcing the 210. So I've already done the 200 so far, so if I can just get these last ones, but I do want to make sure that what I'm picking up is going to be like the good stuff. So just going to have a look, see if we can find some bits. Right, I've just found something that is not in my niche whatsoever, but I thought I'd actually have a quick look at it. I've just done a ChatGPT look on it. Right, so this looks like a vintage punch bowl, so iridescent green. They want just £5 for this. So it does say as seen, so that kind of like makes me a bit worried. So far the charity shops have been pretty terrible around here. I've not really found very much at all, certainly clothing wise. I found this, which I'll kind of like, I think I'll probably go for. So it's a vintage Canterbury of New Zealand. It's the Stein Lager. Nice, really great condition. Nice big like logo on the back, and that's up for £4.99. Yeah, £4.99. Right, just found another one. We've got a Harley Davidson shirt up for £4.75. So give that one a go. Right, that's it for the charity shopping in this town. Pretty terrible actually. Like, I really struggled to like find any like kind of like really good stuff. Found a couple of items that I think will do like really well, but all in all, definitely not ideal. But that is sometimes the way it goes. So not hit my target of getting the 10, so we have to like keep going, unfortunately. Right, back home now, and we've got our couple of bits. Nothing like kind of too much. Harley Davidson one. The Canterbury, I think this is actually a really nice top. I will do some more research on that, but I think that's a really it looks in perfect condition as well. And obviously the bowl, which is heavy, that's worrying me about how I'm going to pack that all up. So yeah, hopefully like I might have to like reach out to Ricky Resells for those ones. I know he's very good at packing stuff like that. Got one vintage one to actually open up as well. And this is oh my word, that is pretty horrendous. How can you send something like that? Right, let's see if I can show you. Look at the state of that. My word. That's not great. So it's a Fred Perry, 100% pure lamb's wool. So the only thing I can absolutely say about this one, I paid £2 on Vinted. So it means that I need to do a bit of work on this one to actually like make it saleable. But yeah, that's not ideal. But at least we've got a couple. So 1, 2, 3, so 4 bits.
Send in your questions. Don't be shy. Big or small, we'll give them a try. Your questions matter. We want them all. Answers are coming. Just give us a try.
Right. It's time again. It's your questions. And I'm going to start off by apologising. I think I missed out a couple of questions yesterday. So I need to try and go back to those again. So let me quickly go through. I think the first one was comment section bingo. And it says, I hope you let the dog sit in the new office. Keep going. Superb content. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if I have missed you, I do apologise. Next one, we've got Midwife Haley, hi Simon, what was the comment about deleting old sold items? I'm confused. Do items that you have sold count towards the listing total? I thought I actually spoke about this one, but if I haven't, I apologize. So basically what that means is that when you go to, once something sells, yes, like it can't be sold again, but in the eyes of eBay, it is still a listing. So what you need to do, you need to go to your active listings, and then you actually click on the section that says unsold, and you need to delete those off. And then that will actually like get rid of that one. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll try and at some point I'm going to do a slightly more in-depth one on that one. Charles Place, totally agree. It's brilliant seeing Simon's personality. The skincare regime had me laughing. I'm glad to hear it. And have I got this one? John James, this week has been the best content you've ever done. The viewers Q&A section is genius and keeps it engaging. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. And I think that is it. I think there was another one that I kind of missed. I'll see if I can find it now. Let's get on with these comments. And again, if I do miss any, then like apologies. Do like I'm gonna put in the comments that if I do miss anything, and if I do make a mistake on anything, I'm here to be called out, so it's really not an issue at all. So I'm gonna like try and rattle these through again. I said that yesterday, and I ended up like kind of like whittering on for absolutely ages. So I hope you're not hating the fact that it goes on quite a long way. Yesterday was like an hour and a quarter the video, so it was like pretty long, and today like maybe like a good long one as well. So do let me know like if you think it is too long, because like what I don't want to do is actually start I can't please everyone obviously, but if it as a general rule, if it's like I'm putting too much content out, then obviously let me know. This little mini series that I'm doing is not going to be normal. I'm not going to be like doing this on like moving forward. So I do think that if there is like too much content, it's hard to keep up with it as much as you kind of like, we all like want to watch everything, but sometimes you just don't have the time to do it. So moving forward, I will probably do maybe like some slightly more this kind of format, but do it maybe a couple of times a week, I think. So hopefully, like, let me know in the comments like what you think and what I can help with anyway. Right, let's get on with the actual comments. Right, first one is Gillian Cameron. Thanks for the vlog. Keep up the good work. Can you tell me what printer you use, please? Many thanks. I think I've like mentioned this already, but let me quickly show you. Easiest way for me to do it is actually to get my camera and actually show you. Right, so I've actually got two. So this one here, which is the Brother QL 1100, this was my workhorse for maybe 3 years, I think, something like that. It's very expensive, this one, but it's been absolutely bulletproof. But I did want to get another one just because I wanted a backup. So I got this one, and this has now turned into my main printer of choice. And I really only use it for these kind of like the main like print labels. So this is the Mumbin. I can't honestly remember exactly what one it is. It does do Bluetooth, it does do Wi-Fi, but I never use that. I plug it directly into my computer. So yeah, like £60–70 on Amazon was where I got it from. So hopefully that's helpful. Right, next comment is from Ricky Resells. Overslept? What time is it? 3:22 AM? No. I was a little bit earlier today, so you'd be pleased to know, like, back to normal. Right, next one, we've got the Aussie Nurse Flipper. I've been sitting on cashmere jumper for a long time. There's a little tiny hole, sewing like a little embroidery or something over the top of it. And Jane Hayes put, list it with the fault, sure it will sell. And that's exactly what Michelle told me as well. There is like a market for cashmere even with holes in it. So, and I think there are like people who like to do craft who use that exactly for that. So it's whether you want to like take on a project. Me personally, I hate a project. I just want to like get it listed and get it up. Right, next one, Jane Hayes. I once sold a cashmere jumper with a lot of holes. The lady buyer was very happy. Again, exactly what we were saying, that just like kind of like get it listed, get it sold. Right, next one, Stephen Hazard. Hi Simon, do you sometimes buy counterfeit branded clothing by mistake? How do you check that what you're selling is genuine? Right, so that, again, that's a very, very relevant, like if you're selling kind of clothing, or not just clothing, if you're selling things like bags, you need to be able to like know how to legit check something. Do you kind of like do you make mistakes to begin with? Absolutely, yeah. It's and some of the fakes now, or the replicas now, are incredibly good. Like, it's really, really hard. I don't think it's ever been like harder to work out a fake now. But the more items you touch, the more you kind of like get to know what is and what isn't like genuine. You do get a bit of a sixth sense. So things like now, Ralph Lauren is massively like faked. 9 times out of 10, or I would say 95 times out of 100, I would go like, yeah, fake. I can spot it like straight away. There are those occasions when I will like need to like do a little bit more checks. The way that I can like do check-in is that there are other people who are a lot more knowledgeable than me, and I will ask them, I'll get their opinion. I will also like, nowadays I can do things like go to ChatGPT, work out, find out what the intricacies are of if it is a fake, like put pictures into there, and you'll get a good solid idea. In regards of what did I used to do them, I'm not a big fan of like fakes at all. Look, there are people out there who like and like think that like it's fine. I really just want to get rid of them. I just want to get them out of like kind of like circulation. So 9 times out of 10, I just take them to Cash for Clothes. I'll just like kind of like take them to the rag man. So yeah, that's what I would do. And Mad Dog actually says, use your brain. Maybe a little harsh, but like you've just got to like ascertain that if you think that like something is fake, you just need to like do your checks. What you don't want to do is like certainly if it's eBay you're selling on, you really don't want to take the risk of like getting into trouble with counterfeit stuff, because that can sink your ship. So just be careful on that one. Right, next question, Jane Hayes. Do you ever go to Jumbles? And I presume that's jumble sales. When I was a kid, like that was the only thing that we used to go to. We didn't, when I was a boy, like we didn't actually go to like car boot sales. For some reason, my parents just didn't like that. But what we did go to is jumble sales. So like, and that was like massive back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s. Like the jumble sales were like up. Every weekend they were on. Now I kind of hardly any, I very rarely see them, and I'm sure they are around, but I don't normally like go to them, and I suppose I don't actually like actively look for them, but that might be something to actually have a look at. Right, next we've got Hockey Fan number 1. Hi there. You didn't answer the question in my last video. Are you still at 7% ad rate, or did you lower it like you said you might revisit? Thanks. Hockey Fan number 1, I'm so sorry if I missed your comment, and I like completely like my bad. Like certainly like not something that I kind of like I actively tried to. I think so my ad rate, I'm still at 7%. I've made no changes whatsoever to my business when it comes to like promoted listings. So 7%, and I actually do promote as soon as the item goes up for sale, which some people are going to go like, well, you're stupid, you're throwing money away. To some degree, yes, but what I don't want to do is waste time in setting up new campaigns and not doing things. For some reason, it's a lot harder on my account because I've got loads of business policies all set up, and it's not easy to actually do. So, Hockey Fan number 1, sorry I missed it, but hopefully that kind of answers that question. Right, next one is from comment section bingo. Hi Simon. Hi again Simon. Another great video. Question regarding pricing. I notice that you price a lot of your items ending in 77p. Is this to show the lowest price in search or for another reason? Thanks. You are spot on. The main reason I do it is because the majority of sellers they end their listings in either 99p, 98p, 95p, and I kind of like just wanted to really stand out and try and kind of like be the lowest. Like if someone's like, if I'm at market or slightly below market, and I'm then like kind of like the pence is that much of a difference, hopefully I will actually rank higher in the search. That's my theory. Can I prove it? No, I can't. It's very difficult to prove that, but that's what I kind of like, I try to do. And we've also got Gemma Hardy. Glad you asked that. I was wondering the same thing. So yeah, hopefully like that kind of answers that one, why I do it. Next one, we've got Woo Woo. Loving the videos, very informative with a dose of humour. Like dad jokes, I think. Question, how do you pay yourself? Is it an amount or a percentage per week, per month? Again, that is a good question. So for me personally, and this is not set up the best way, but purely and simply, it's like I pay myself like a weekly amount, and it's purely and simply to pay my bills. That's it. And like everything else that's left in the business, that goes towards like running and growing the business. So I only take out what I need to pay my bills. Realistically, what I should be doing is only taking out a small amount, which is to keep under the tax, and then like take dividends at the end of the year. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not earning enough. Like my eBay store is not earning me enough money for me to like kind of just do that. I need that money to pay the bills. I need to pay the mortgage on a monthly basis. So hopefully that makes sense. But so don't do a percentage, because I know what my what I have to pay out each month and each week. So that's what I do. Right, next one, we got Encore Apparel. Hi Simon, regular watcher and loving the latest series. Quick question, are you able to talk through how you go about writing the description on your listings? Do you use the AI overview tool eBay offers to save time, or do you write the descriptions yourself for each individual item? Right, that's a good question. I'll see if I can like show you that one. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like quickly go on to my own page again, and what I'm going to do is I'll click on some on here, just a pair of jeans for example. Right, so I'm going to click on these. Now, when it comes to doing a description, what I will personally do is, because I sell similar, so in other words, like one of my own listings, I will just like sell from that. Now, my description, what it actually pre-does. So if I do a sell similar, it will come up with what I've got on here. So the bit that I can leave in, so good overall condition, and I will copy that from the condition report. But then I've actually got this. Please look closely at the pictures. I try to make sure that I show any imperfections with clear images, blah, 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 blah. Kind regards, Simon. I also like all clothes that showcase has been here are in accordance with eBay's cleaning policies. So that's a thing that like I was told that you should really put on there anyway. But so I don't worry about putting loads of gumph in the description. Honestly, I don't think people like really like kind of like even look at it. So if you can just have a very generic, even if you've got a cut and paste, you like put it onto like a little file on your desktop, and when you actually get to that, you just drag that straight into there. You don't need that. You can just do a little bit about yourself. You can like say, I ship every like 2 days, or I've got 300 items in my store. You just like put it on there, and then it's just generic. It doesn't have to go into every individual item. So that's what I personally do. In regards to like the AI stuff, at the moment I still don't think it's brilliant. Right, next one, buystuff.ie. Good sales, they're heading in the right direction. Hopefully. Today was not so good, so I'm hoping like the weekend picks up, but thank you. Right, Video Hero has put, the day you had stubble suited you great. No need to worry about the full beard. I'm not sure. I'm just one of these people that like, it gets to a certain point and it's just like really itchy. I've always been like clean shaven. I've never like kind of like a couple of days stubble like that for me. Like I just don't really like it. It makes me feel a bit yucky. Right, we got the Aussie Nurse Flipper again. I personally don't use a VA. An Australian YouTuber was promoting a VA service he set up with workers over the Philippines. I look at this listings and the quality wasn't to my standard. Interesting. I pointed out to him that they were using instead of, and he didn't seem to be worried about it. I didn't bother looking through the rest of that listing. I tried to list similar of my own listings. Cheers. I think, look, if you kind of like, if your quality, you're happy with your quality, then I would say just keep doing it, because like 9 times out of 10 yours is going to be a darn sight better than other people's. If you've got like more knowledge and like because these VAs, they don't fundamentally, you can try and train them and try and like give them like some guidance and all that side of it, but a lot of us, we've put in a good amount of time to learn our trade, so the little intricacies, I think that's definitely like so for me personally, yeah, I'm not feeling VAs at the moment. Right, next one, Magella Connolly. Hi Simon, would you ever consider running a UK-based reseller group yourself? I'm quite sure you didn't need the extra workload, but can't think of a better man for the job. Thanks for another great video. Thank you very much. Have I ever considered it? No, I can't say I have actually. And I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head. Do I think I've actually got time to do it? I'm happy to like kind of like this for me, like kind of the YouTube side of it. This I suppose is my little kind of like way of like helping and like giving out a little bit. But it's blooming hard work. It really is. Like there's absolutely no two ways about it. So there are other people who have like the time and inclination to do that. I will never say never. Like, kind of like if an opportunity comes along and like that people think that I'm the right person, I'm happy to like kind of like to we will see. Like in other words, I'll never say never. But thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Right, next one, Sarah Philpotts 1064. Have upped my listings to 15 a day after your big push. Now that, again, like, and I get all excited about like when I hear like people doing like pushing themselves and like kind of thing. 15 a day is incredible. Like, there's no two ways about it. I was at 15 days like I think all this year. And like I'm full time and I'm trying to go like full tilt on it. So like doing 15 a day, like well done. The only thing I would say is that just because I've done this before for a longer period of time, I've tried to actually push myself to do more for a longer period of time, and it nearly broke me. It was really tough. So listen to that. If things are like not going right, if you kind of like feel that it's too much, then make that decision, reduce it down, do this like kind of, if you're going to be increasing, do it safely. So, but honestly, Sarah, good luck, and I hope that you do incredibly well. You'll be like kind of like coming up to like doing 30 a day soon with me. And I'm not going to stick with 30, so you can do one on that one. Right, we've got KitKat 8008 says, wow, sleeping in paid off. Well done on the whole. Also, like the cheeky sponsoring comments, and the whole video was nice and energetic. You're smashing this challenge. Thank you. Like kind of like I didn't notice it being like kind of a cheeky challenge. I'm still waiting for like Lamborghini to come knocking on my door to say, Simon, would you like an Aventador as a company car? Yeah, it's not happened quite yet. Surprisingly, not even had eBay coming knocking on my door yet. I'm probably the biggest advocate of like that blooming site. I think I should really. Right, next one we've got is Lukeco1. What camera do you use, mate? I've been using my phone, but really struggle with the black clothing. Also, how are you tracking your spends profits? Right, so my camera that I use, and I don't think it makes a massive difference to whether you use a phone or whether you use a camera. Most of the time, blacks and navy blues are hard to take pictures of. That's just the reality of it, unfortunately. So this one is probably the best I've had out of all the ones I've had. So this is the Panasonic. It's the Panasonic Lumix, and it is the TZ10. Just on there for you. They're not cheap, these, but it's been like kind of like really like quite good. Just on there. So for me, like, I do like the fact that it's got a dedicated SD card, and like I don't get like text messages and stuff like that on it. Do we still get text messages, WhatsApp and stuff like that now? So yeah, hopefully that helps. In regards to how do I track everything, I do have a spreadsheet, and I cannot take like the credit for it because I actually got it off of another YouTuber, which was Bold Finds. And so I would say if you have a look at his videos, he does explain about how to use it, what bits to like input, and it will like it's really good. And the key thing for me is just like inputting the data. You just like, if you sell X amount a day, put that in. If you buy X amount like a day, you put that in. How much you spent on those items. What's the average of those items? How much was you posting? So I put all that into a spreadsheet. Personally, do I need it? I don't really, because my accountant, like, they take care of all that side of it. But for me personally, it just gives me an overview of my business to make sure that I'm actually profitable and I'm going in the right direction. So that's what I do, and hopefully that kind of makes sense. But yeah, definitely, if you want like the spreadsheet, go to like James Baldwin or Bold Finds. Like just search on there for spreadsheet, and I think it's a free of charge Google download, I think it is. If you do not get it and like you do like it, just leave him a little like coffee, like kind of like a token for a coffee or something like that. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Right, and we've got another one. It looks like it might be the last one. Crikey. Rockstar Sparkle US. Hi Simon, loving the little collection of vids, but how on earth are you having enough time to do them? No clue. It is hard work. I think the key thing is just to try and like get everything done as quickly as I possibly can, making sure things like this video, I'm actually like kind of not overthinking it, not doing like kind of like loads of edits on it. I'm pure to it. You'll notice like when I'm actually like talking, I'm not kind of cutting out loads of bits and pieces. You're getting all like kind of like me in my raw state. Sounds a bit horrible. So yeah, it's thing. And lack of sleep. So like I don't like to sleep that much, and I'm working late. So there we go. But hopefully like now I'm like I can see nearly the end of it. I'm gonna be then kind of like weekend should be like reasonable, as long as the weather, I hope the weather's okay. I haven't decided what I'm going to do over the weekend, whether I'd like sell tomorrow or just go out and buy. I might even do like selling next week, so we'll see. But yeah, that's how I just get through the day. It's like those tasks. Sometimes if a task has to be done, you just got to do it. You can't like that. For me, I'm very much a thing. If I set myself something, I'm not going to stop until I actually physically like complete that job. So maybe I'm just like a bit weird, but that's how I do it anyway. Right, so that's it. I'm all done. That is day 5 completed. So I'm super pleased to actually be in this position. I hopefully will try and get this all uploaded, and you should be able to get this evening, so that'll be like Friday evening. Hope you have an absolutely incredible weekend, but if this is not going to be too bold, I hopefully will see you all tomorrow. But hope if you're going to a car boot, or if you're doing whatever you think, even if you're just relaxing on a Saturday, I hope you have an absolutely lovely time. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet and you've got all the way to the end here, I think you should, because I'm going to do more. Thanks again. See you soon.